Hello everyone, my name is Binks and welcome back to Let's Play The Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, which we will be continuing in the second case of the game, The Memoirs of the Clouded Kokoro, which we are in the trial now. Alright, so what I did, since my last recording, I went back and I watched a little bit of the first game. During that trial, the other Kokoro trial, to try to remember just the voices I gave the jurors. And I also saw that actually it was Mrs. Garadeb who was in the jury, and then I remembered that Mr. Garadeb had taken her place at the end because, you know, she ended up being a suspect or whatever. So yeah, now I'm like, oh yes, I remember. The catastrophic night. It was around 9 o'clock that evening when I visited my neighbor and I took some tea with me as a gift. We had a heated literary debate over a nice hot drink, after which I went back to my room at around 11. Also, my memory was really good, you guys. I was totally right about the first dude being, the first juror being the one who was biting on his cane. I was totally right about the old man being the one who had fallen over and slipped on the ice and all of that. So I'm like, yeah, and I was right about the bigger guy being the construction worker or whatever who was working on the pavement, the sidewalk. So yeah, my memory's not that bad. Yay! Oh, my tea was completely harmless. He couldn't have locked the door behind me otherwise, could he? Strychnine takes some time to have an effect on the body. People don't kill over immediately after taking it. The victim would have been perfectly able to lock the door after his guest left. The argument still stands. Yes, I see. It all seems relatively straightforward. Excuse me, but that testimony does raise one rather crucial point, I think. Mr. Natsume claims his tea to have been harmless, presumably, though. The teacups have been examined for traces of the poison, haven't they? Why didn't I think of that? Thank you. Well, as it happens, no. We haven't been able to. Why? Did I hear you correctly, Inspector? Scotland Yard has failed to examine the suspect substance? How could you have overlooked something so important? Isn't that the first thing you should have done? My learned Nipponese friend is falsely incensed. The inspector said Scotland Yard was unable to examine the tea, not that it was overlooked. Unable? Why? It's simple enough. There was none left, not a drop. I have a suspicion. Hold on. Where? That's weird. That's weird. Drop. First of all, this spot on the floor, right? This water spot? I thought it was water, but maybe that's the tea? It's spilled here? Damn. Damn. Did it dry up? Are we not able to... And then... Didn't we also see... Hold on. Oh. Did we examine this? Oh. What is it, Mr. Nadahodo? This bar of soap. When we first found it, I could have sworn... Yeah, wasn't there a red dot in there? There was some sort of round disc in this depression just here, a reddish one. Yeah, I thought there was something here. Yes, you're right. I remember it too. But now the depression is completely empty. Where could the disc have gone? Huh.
Little reddish medallion from the center is mysteriously... Did that guy in yellow take it? I'm glad I looked at that right now. I was wondering what that was. Okay. Random. Anyway. Envelope. Damn it. Okay, never mind. Not a drop left. Dang it.
Someone must have been very thirsty indeed. With current scientific techniques, it's not possible to test for poison under such circumstances.
Dang it. Iris? Sherlock? Help!
We only need a drop, but that one drop does actually have to exist, funnily enough. The lack of examination notwithstanding.
Wow.
The lack of examination notwithstanding. It appears nothing other than the tea passed the victim's lips on the night in question. I see. Thank you. The matter is clear. Cast your eyes over the jury, my learned friend. What? You can see it in their faces, I'm sure. The recognition of the accused's guilt. Your client's fate is all but sealed. In mere moments from now, you will lose, and your compatriot will be damned for all eternity.
You would love that, wouldn't you?
He's right. I can feel all 6 of the jurors looking daggers at me.
Alright.
But I can't let them beat me down. I won't. Counsel for the defense, proceed with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord.
Alright. Yeah, I like that. Alright, catastrophic night. Let's do some pressing. Took some tea with me as a gift.
Hold it!
Were you and your neighbor good friends then?
No, we weren't friends. Not at all. Not at all. Never, ever.
A simple no would have sufficed.
That little mouse is so freaking cute. I love it.
Then, why did you decide to pay him a visit?
Mr. Shamspeare fancies himself as having great literary knowledge. Gosh, I can't talk. As a fellow scholar of English literature, we find much to talk about together.
Come now, no Nipponese could understand the finer points of English literature.
Oh, shut up.
And on the night in question, that was the topic of conversation as well, I presume.
It was the day of my last trial. When I was acquitted, I just arrived back at my lodgings when I ran into Mr. Shamspeare outside on the street. That was at around 6 o'clock. We exchanged 1 or 2 pleasantries, but it soon turned into a heated discussion. He was on his way out at the time, though, so I promised to visit his room that evening at 9 to continue our debate. But did I have ill intentions? No, not one, not two, not any. Not at all. Never, ever.
A simple no would have sufficed, I feel.
Then tell the court what did happen when you visited the victim's room.
We had a heated literary debate over a nice hot drink, after which I went back to my room at around 11.
Hold it!
A literary debate about Shakespeare's works, I think you said, didn't you? Shakespeare. Ah, very worthy topic of conversation, I must say.
Oh yes, my lord. Romeo and Juliet, who was stronger? It was a profoundly pleasurable parley.
Romeo and Juliet. Who was stronger? What nonsense. I know I'm going to regret asking this, but how did the debate go?
Well, we both agreed that we would reach a conclusion more quickly with a reenactment. So we battled it out in a Greco-Roman style, naturally.
What?
Mr. Shamspeare had all sorts of costumes in his room for just such a contest. So when you say a reenactment, you mean you were actually in costume?
He as Romeo, I as Juliet, and after a vigorous wild tussle, I as Juliet came out on top. A victory I'll cherish forever.
I dare not imagine the terrible scene of carnage.
The fact remains that it was you who prepared the tea and took it to the victim, correct? I don't want to talk about this wrestling, cross-dressing nonsense. I boiled the water in my room and made a pot to take with me. I mean, I looked really hot as Juliet, okay? I'd heard that he was too poor to have tea himself, you see?
It's true, there was no sign of any tea leaves in the man's room.
How did he live? What did he eat? Just, like, seriously. I wanted to do something nice, to be friendly. So why is everyone looking at me with such suspicion? My tea was harmless, of course it was.
And do you have any basis for that statement, witness?
Ah, my tea was completely harmless. He couldn't have locked the door behind me otherwise, could he?
Hold it!
Yes, there was not a drop of tea left in the victim's room anywhere, was there?
That's correct. Anyone would think the fellow had never had a pot of tea before, and must have licked it dry. It is a pity, because one drop is all we would have needed to analyze it for poison.
You say that you returned home to your room at 11 o'clock, Mr. Natsume.
Yes, definitely. By heaven and earth, I swear it. The landlord was able to verify that, as it happens. He confirmed that the defendant went back to his room at 11 that night.
And how was the landlord able to attest to this?
He said it was the lamps, I believe.
The lamps, Inspector. When tenants return to their rooms and start using gas, lamps in other parts of the house flicker.
Yes, Mr. Gardepp seems to pay a lot of attention to the comings and goings of his tenants.
There's only one key to Mr. Shamspeare's room. I know that for certain. So he must have locked the door himself from inside his room. The victim has confirmed that to be the case, yes. So I'm right. My tea was harmless, completely harmless. If you take poison, you die. Everyone knows that. It's not that simple, I'm afraid. What do you mean? Strychnine takes some time to have effect on the body, but don't keel over. Okay, let's hear this.
How long does it take for symptoms to appear then?
According to the coroner I was speaking to at the yard, about 30 minutes after the poison's consumed. Then the victim suffers violent convulsions, cramping and stiffness, and eventually dies from asphyxiation.
So there's a 30-minute interval between when the poison is ingested and the onset of symptoms.
Then how did he survive? He drank the whole thing.
There seem to be a lot of different types of poison in the world, that's for sure.
Oh dear, death by poisoning again. It's always so awful. Thank you for commenting on the fact that it's again. Even though this is not right after the case I'm talking about. Poisoning is always awful, Susato. Always.
30 minutes is a long time. Certainly long enough for the victim to have locked the door behind the accused after he left.
You can't deny that. And it further degrades Soseki-san's alibi.
I have the medical report from the doctor who examined the victim here, my lord. It spells it out, really. The accused is the only person who could have done it.
Very well. The court will add this report to the court record as evidence.
Okay, obviously mentions the poison as well as other details. Let's see it. Oh yes, I see it here. Delayed onset of symptoms.
Great.
Let me see. Alright, let's see. Examine, please. William Shakespeare, 31. Cause of coma. Ingestion of a small quantity of strychnine. Toxic effects present 30 minutes after ingestion. High likelihood of the substance having been mixed with the tea the victim was drinking, but no sample could be obtained for testing. Investigative conclusions. The poisoning incident occurred at around 1:30 a.m. on the 21st of February. Assessed from the victim's pocket watch. It appears to have been broken when the man collapsed after the delayed onset of symptoms. 1:30 a.m. No container for the poison was found. 1:30 a.m. "30 minutes after ingestion." Wait, 1:30 a.m. But he went to... Wait, he went to lay down at... he went to bed at 11. That doesn't make sense. Wait. He left at 11. This is saying 1:30. The time doesn't make sense. I see a issue here. That's the extent of their testimony, is it? If I could voice a personal opinion, Mr. Naruhodo. Of course, go ahead. Mr. Natsume is arguing for his innocence so adamantly and so persistently. Yet Inspector Gregson just brushes what he says aside. It's really quite infuriating. I agree. So we need to find an inconsistency in what the inspector is saying, I think. I'm afraid so. As things stand, the jurors are sure to find Mr. Natsume guilty. As I see it, what we need to focus on is the poison and the tea. Let's listen carefully to his testimony again. Yes.
Okay.
Which one, though? We don't kill over immediately. No. Which one? I didn't mean to. I was trying to go back. Is it this one? About the time? Arguments still stand. Maybe it's this one. I think it's this one.
Objection!
Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure. The argument still stands, you say? I think not, Inspector.
Come again.
I think you'll find that you've overlooked a very significant chronological inconsistency here.
A chrono what? What are you on about?
According to this report, the victim must have consumed the poison at around 1:30 in the morning. And yet, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, left the victim's room at 11.
Oh,
Yes, that's right. There's more than 2 hours of missing time there.
yeah. Oof.
In other words, if there was poison in the tea that Mr. Natsume brought to the victim's room, how could the victim have fallen ill to it 2.5 full hours after the defendant left?
Whoa, why are they both freaking out like that? The defense's argument is entirely reasonable. How do you respond, Lord von Zieks?
He's so calm.
Oh, no. You gonna break it? Oh, here we go. Always asking for forgiveness. Pray forgive the discourtesy if my mind has wandered. I was considering what cuisine would best complement the contents of my hollow chalice this luncheon. Ah, it's been so long since we've seen you acting like this. How could it have happened, you ask? Yep. Why you always do this? You freak. You didn't even take a sip this time. I do hate to shatter illusions, but my Nipponese friend appears to be chasing a phantom idea.
A phantom? No, that's another game.
Sorry, spoilers. A game I have not gotten to play on this channel yet. Sorry. Is it so hard to imagine that the victim drank his tea after the accused had left? For example, at the time stated in the medical report? Yes, at around 1:30.
Mr. Natsume brought the tea with him to drink together with his neighbor, and it would have been cold by then. That's stupid. And in Japan, there is a well-known saying, drink tea while it's hot.
Exactly.
Objection!
And in my country, there is an even more apt saying. There is nothing more refreshing than cold tea. Oh, come on! That's such BS.
The point is, if there was such a long gap, there may be other ways to explain how the victim came to be poisoned. Other possibilities.
What sort of possibilities, Counsel?
Well, for example, the man could have had another visitor.
Another visitor? That's a very bold assertion, my learned friend. From someone who has nothing to substantiate it.
Or the victim could have taken the poison of his own volition.
You suggested this may have been a suicide, Counsel.
Objection!
Mr. Shamspeare has categorically denied suicide. The idea can and must be discounted.
Objection!
Oh no, the play! No, Ryunosuke, I thought we were past this. I don't remember timeline-wise. I thought we were past this by this point, but I don't know.
But he could be lying.
The play! I haven't heard the play in so long. That means he feels a little uncertain.
Is something wrong, Lord von Zieks?
I was listening to the sound of the carriage pulling up outside the courtroom. Pray forgive the discourtesy.
Carriage? What carriage?
It would seem that the key player in this case has just arrived. Hold it! And Natsume actually looks behind him. That's pretty cool. Oh, this dramatic way of speaking can only be one person. Oh. I'm trying to remember how I voiced him because it was only that one brief moment. Out, out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow. Wow. Dramatic moments, yes. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. Wow. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. They really went all out for this fool.
Oh, sir, are you?
William Shakespeare, my lord. Alas, 'twas I, undone by these bitter events. I am the victim.
What's he doing here?
He's here. In the spotlight.
The prosecution seeks to call this gentleman to the stand. With his testimony, my learned friends, futile resistance will be utterly crushed.
You're calling him as a witness?
Very well, counsel. I grant your request with interest. I kinda want to see more from this, dramatic fellow. I'm curious to discover what the court shall hear from the victim himself.
It's rare we get to see a victim actually get to stand up there and talk, right? Because they're usually dead, right? Even Olive Green was not able to speak because she was in the hospital. She was, like, you know, unconscious or whatever, so...
Happy am I, Shakespeare, to regale thee with my tale of woe, my lord. But I still have my own tale to tell. My own tale of worse woe.
You're not the victim here, Saseki. Oh, come on, man.
I can regale the court with the tale of my perfect innocence in perfect English. That will do, Mr. Natsume. Let the court now hear from the victim. The much more sparkly and entertaining victim.
What? What? This man! Where did you come from? Okay. So we didn't even have to fight to, like, be like, hey, there was this, shady fellow out there. He just magically appeared. Yay! Who are you? I don't remember you, but apparently you're important, so I'm glad you're here. He kind of looks like a Professor Layton character for some reason. Like his design, he looks a lot like a Professor Layton character to me.
Alright, so that's Mr. Shakespeare. But who's that other man beside him?
Yes, I feel sure that we've caught a glimpse of that man before.
State your names and occupations for the court, please, witnesses. A writer of words so sweet they do scent the breeze. An inventor of ideas so profound they compose the earth. The unrivaled poet, the unmatched scribe, William Shakespeare. Were the great bard to be recalled to life anew, lo, what a magnificent man! Good fellows, I am he who ponders such a miracle, William Shakespeare.
That's probably not even your real name, bro. You're just a ripoff.
Oh, now I have to voice some new character. So many people. Oh, I don't know what to do for you, sir. There's so many people. Ah!
The name's Materman. Adrian B. Materman.
Meterman? Like gas meter? Is that what you were doing? You work for like the gas company or something? Is that the connection here? Weird. What the chin? The way that chin moved! Dear lord, that was unsettling. Yep, I was right. Gas company.
I work for the Altamont Gas Company, East End branch office. Ah, I remember now. It was yesterday on Briar Road. Oh yes, she's right, it's him. Yeah, we saw him alright. Weird that he was peeking in. Oh, what's this? Yeah. Is the meter right there? But he was looking at the area where those bricks were and the soap, right? What's that man doing over there? He looks like he's trying to see into Saseki-san's lodgings. Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? Excuse me, could we have a word? Ah! Then he hits his weird chin and runs. Shady. Shady, shady. Yes, we spotted him outside Mr. Garridub's house that morning. He's a gas company employee. What does he have to do with this case? Big conspiracy with the gas going on. So, Mr. William Shamspeare, you are the victim in this miserable affair, correct?
Oh heaven, oh hell, do command me to remember that sweet poison that didst cross me and cross mine innocent lips. I subpoenaed him for the trial, with his doctor's permission, naturally. Hearing the testimony of the aggrieved will remove any room for doubt from the jurors' minds, I'm sure. Behold, ye have only to rearrange the letters of my name to see that me's a seraph, an angel indeed.
I don't believe you. You may be the victim, but you shady to me, man. I'm getting this vibe. Like, you ain't the victim. I don't know, man. He's too scummy. He's too, like, over the top obnoxious? I don't know. Like, people like him? I could be wrong, but I don't know. I don't like him. Like, I thought he might be entertaining at first, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm getting this, like, with the whole, like, soap thing, and, like, I knew he was up to no good, but I think he's a bad guy, you guys. I'm getting this vibe from him. Like, maybe he accidentally got himself poisoned? Unless he did something bad and now somebody else bad came after him as, like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to... You know how my brain is... I've told you this before. I jump ahead too much. I'm, like, trying to figure it out already. I'm like, but bad people coming after you because you're in debt or something, because you, like, betrayed them or something because of your crimes, your schemes coming back to haunt you. Whatever smuggling ring you're part of. Crime syndicate. I don't know. It's kind of the vibe maybe the storyline they're going with.
Thus be I noble of mind, sweet of nature, and verily honest of heart, as all heavenly angels be.
Yeah, no, you so fake. You so fake! You're poor as hell and look how you're acting and dressing. No, you fake. I know. Because there isn't a less contrived meaning in your name? No, not at all. The jurors seem to be very moved by this man, I'm afraid. Oh, y'all fell for this crap? For real? They're actually taking the serif anagram idea seriously? Ugh.
Thank you, witness, for your illuminating introductions.
But my lord, what's the man next to Mr. Shamspeare doing here? The gas man, I mean. You know what? This whole gas thing is perfect because this whole case is all about gaslighting, and that's exactly what this man is doing to everybody. Gaslighting the case. Yes, gaslighting. Perfect.
What? Me? Well, now. Allow me to enlighten my learned friend. You recall, I presume, your earlier impertinence? When you suggested that the victim had another visitor to his room on the night in question. And moreover, that the victim is a compulsive liar.
I mean, he is, clearly.
What? No, I didn't quite say that.
This young chin stroker, he is here to controvert your wild claims conclusively. Is that not so, Mr. Mitterman?
Hang on. Now, I'm just here.
I hereby call for your formal testimonies. You will tell the court as lucidly as possible what happened on the night in question.
I'm not happy with the Meterman voice. I need to figure out what I'm going to do for him. I kind of want to give him a gruff voice, but it's hurting my throat. And I didn't want to give him anything too similar. So I'm like struggling to figure out what to do for him. Maybe I could give him an accent. There's so many accents going around. I'm like, dang nabbit, I don't know.
One may smile and be a villain.
Yeah, that's what I think you are.
Yes, it doth pain me, but let the truth be spoken. The truth of that wintry night of my discontent.
The wintry night of my discontent.
The snow lay about. My neighbour did cometh in the evening, bearing a gift of tea. But merry, bitter was his drink, and when he left I did fall prostrate on my table. 'Twas the tea alone did pass my lips that late hour, naught else.
I was outside this bloke's window in the freezing cold all night, keeping an eye on his room.
Ah, all night?
No one else visited his room but that short little round-backed eastern fella.
Wait, what did you say? You were keeping an eye on Mr. Shamspeare's room all night?
That's right. Of course, the bloke's window is all but blocked up, isn't it? There's a little gap in the bricks where you can see into the room.
Oh, I think I know what I'm going to do with your voice, actually. Let me see. I'm going to change it a little bit.
So I spent the night trying to keep my teeth from chattering.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Okay.
From chattering as I peered in through that. The question is, why? Well now, that's because he's on my list.
What a piece of work is a man! Wherefore wouldst thou not stare in wonderment?
What are you talking about?
This busybody hath not part in this play. I pray thee, pay him no heed, make no more ado about his tedious words.
You don't like the fact that he's calling attention to something shady about you, I bet.
What do you say about me?
Calm yourself. This court is concerned with what happened on the night in question. Nothing more.
Indeed, that is so.
And as the testimony we have just heard clearly reveals, there was no one other than the accused present at the time who could have carried out this crime.
I do want to know more about why you're spying on him, though. Like, come on.
Well, I believe this may be the final testimony of the trial. Now, counsel, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination. Yes, my lord.
You shady. You shady man. Shady, shady man. But you know what? We're gonna have to do this in the next episode. I think my throat got messed up by trying to do that older man's voice, and I think now the one I'm actually doing for him doesn't hurt me as bad as the other one did. Oh, it's my fault. I did a voice that screwed me. Anyway, this Shamspear guy is a phony. Phony baloney. Can't wait to take him down. But I don't know what's going on. I'm still like very sure about the gas thing being the real method. I just don't know who did it and exactly why. This Meterman guy, I don't think he did it. If he's spying on him for someone. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I'm intrigued. Alright. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this. And until next time, have a nice day. Bye-bye.